Good morning, everyone, and happy Friday. It is the 4th of June, and I'm Trisha Swan, the Vail Daily, and you're watching Vail Daily Live. It's a great day for the kids in the Vail Valley. School is out for the summer. They get to sleep in. They and their parents survive the whole year. So it truly is summertime now that we've got the kids out of school. But congrats to all the teachers and the county administrators that helped make this school year possible during COVID. Of course, it was quite a task, but we'll learn more about the school year and how it ended in today's Vail Daily headlines. But want to welcome you to our show. We'll be with you live from 7 to 8:30 this morning, Mountain Standard Time. If you're watching from other areas, you'll have to take note of that. My mom was trying to watch the other day and she's like, I couldn't find you. And then I realized I was in the central time zone. So yeah, Mountain Standard Time, 7 to 8:30. But we're going to be checking in with Ashley LaFleur. She'll be standing by in Vail Village. She'll be heading to all sorts of shops and giving us a little bit of history of Vail Village. Gondola 1, which will be open. We'll let you know about that. It'll be open on during the GoPro Mountain Games weekend. We're also going to check in with our editor, Nate Peterson of the Vail Daily. He's going to give you some stories behind the headlines and some other happenings that are going on at the Vail Daily. And then if you're going camping, we've got some ideas on prep ahead food that you can make at home, then bring on your camping trip. And then also some gardening tips. We're a little land challenged here in the Vail Valley. You may not have a big yard, but you can still do some gardening. And we're going to give you some details on that. And then we have more tickets that have been released at the Villar Performing Arts Center. They kick off with some music coming up with the Almond Betts Band on June 27th, the Randy Roger Band on July 2nd. So all of these shows that had capacity restrictions due to COVID, they've been able to open up some more seats. The Villar Performing Arts Center, it's about a 530 seat theater. It's located underneath the ice rink at Beaver Creek. A lot of people ask me, well, where's the building? Where can I find the Villar Performing Arts Center? Well, take the escalators down below the plaza level and you'll find that theater. It's a two-story theater. So when they were building that back in the late 90s, quite a deep hole to allow for a huge stage, high ceilings, and it's just a wonderful place, intimate place to see a show. So we'll give you some details on that. But let's see if Ashley is ready. Oh, it looks like a beautiful view there, Ashley.
Hey,
Hello.
good morning. Yep, that's right. I'm standing here next to Gore Creek. Trisha, it's a beautiful morning in Vail, and the sun is just starting to peek through the trees. And as I was driving over here, once I got to Dow Junction, that sun glare was so intense. I didn't really expect that at, like 6:30, but it's happening. So just beware. If you're going to be getting out on the roads here shortly, that sun glare is in full effect. But the reason that I'm standing here to start the day off this morning, besides the fact that it's one of the most gorgeous places on the planet, is because I wanted to dive into my history nerdiness a little bit today on this beautiful Friday. And, right here, you can see we have a lot of things that are named Gore in this valley, right? We have Gore Trail, Gore Creek, we have Gore Range, Gore Lake. There's so many things named after this Gore person. And eventually when I moved here, I kind of started getting curious about it. I'm like, well, who was this guy, and why do we have all these things that are named after him? Well, it turns out he wasn't exactly very well thought of. Let's just put it that way. So he was this Irish nobleman that came to the United States in the late 1800s and had one of the largest hunting expeditions that has ever been put on in the U.S. Now, this guy was not exactly what you would think of as a hunter as we know them today, okay? Like, he was eccentric, to put it nicely. And I was just reading a description of him from the Vail Valley magazine. Apparently, he was prematurely balding. He had a full beard the color of straw, and he was kind of a stocky guy. So beyond that description, he liked to travel in luxury. Okay, this guy had 115 horses, 20 oxen, 50 dogs, and then of course he had a full staff. He also traveled with a full tent, a brass bed, a bathtub, and then probably, Trisha, I don't know about you, but this is probably one of the most fascinating facts to me about him. He was adamant about having a fur-lined toilet seat.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, which, sure, all right,
Wow.
that's weird, but it's in the 1800s. Okay, so we know about those like standards of cleanliness in the 1800s.
Oh, wow.
Ew,
That that is really
ew,
weird.
right? Am I right? Like, ah,
What an
okay.
eccentric individual. Yeah. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
thing. You hear these crazy stories about that guy.
yeah.
That's
I mean,
amazing.
to have something this beautiful named after a guy that traveled with a fur-lined commode. Yep,
Ah,
that's right. Uh-huh.
whoa.
So,
Oh
no,
my gosh, that's
crazy. But
crazy.
there's so many other stories about him. I'll kind of I'll drip them in as we get this show kind of kicked off because it just keeps going. But I
Yeah.
think that that's just one of the most fascinating little parts about him. And actually, here's what I'm going to do because I'm standing up. Don't tell anybody, but I kind of got up on the wall. Don't don't do as I do, right? But it's a
Okay.
little bit
All right.
loud over
Be
here. So
careful. Be
I'm gonna
careful.
get over here so I can actually hear what you're saying. But also, Trisha, something that else that has been so beautiful as I've been kind of getting back out here in Vail and just exploring in the morning is the trees are in full bloom. And I don't know what these ones are called, but
Yeah.
they are everywhere and they're starting to drop
Oh,
some
I
of their
know.
leaves. And there's like a whole mayor's park that's dedicated that has these trees, right? Just surrounding it. And the look at this, the petals are just
Yes.
right on the ground. But it's this beautiful, it's kind of like one of those secret garden kind of scenes. Just stunning. This whole
Oh,
village, right? It's so
yeah,
gorgeous.
and I've seen the lilacs blooming and yeah, all the trees that are bloom. I think it's not so good for people with allergies, but it is really
True.
pretty. And
That's so
it's
true. Yeah.
it is so
Yeah.
fragrant as well. Like sometimes you just walk through an area and you smell the fragrance and it is so green. I think people don't realize that it's a short window. Of course, we're green throughout the season, but the grassiness kind of turns more brown along the interstates and everything. So yeah, it's just a beautiful time of year, and actually, it's gonna be in the low 80s today. Like, it is gonna really feel like summer. I know you've got
I,
the little down jacket on now.
I know.
You will not need it, pretty
Uh,
soon.
I brought several layers. This has now been like the name of my game when it comes to doing this show in the morning. Like I have like a whole little like bag packed. So I
Yeah.
have like a second layer that's like a little bit less warm than this one. And then under these, I have a spaghetti strap dress for later on today. I can't believe that we're already there. I was just talking to my mom this morning about it. And, you know, the fact that we're going to be seeing those temperatures like 80s and 90s in Denver, like, how we're already there. I love the cold weather. I'm one of those people.
Oh, I'm ready for it to get hot. I want the heat. I'm jonesing for that. And I talked to my mom today, and she lives in North Dakota. It was gonna be near 100 there today. So already June
Ah,
4th, and we're
yeah.
talking hundreds
Nah,
in different parts of the country.
give me 60s and 70s all year round. Like I'm fine with that. Or like 20s. That's fine too. Yep.
Yeah,
Just love that
perfect.
nice, cool, crisp weather. But I do have to say, I mean, this morning it's absolutely perfect. I love this weather so much. And you can see we're starting to get some people out and about. And how great is it that we live in a place that people love so much? This is where they vacation. I already have somebody. I'm gonna creep on him. Oh, he's on the bridge. He's leaving, but he was just taking pictures of the river. And I love
Oh,
that people just kind of walk through and just appreciate it, and you know want to send it back to their friends and family and make them all jealous that this is where they are.
I know. And that creek sounds like it's moving. I know that we're starting to get more of the runoff.
It
Maybe
is.
haven't quite peaked yet, but
Right. I heard, yeah, I saw Ken talking about the CFS yesterday and how this is like the time to be out on the river. And so, I mean, it's all I know is that it's really, really pretty
yeah.
and it's a perfect place to come down and start your morning and grab a cup of coffee and take pictures of it and just soak it up because it's just gorgeous. I mean, I just going to keep showing you my view because
Yeah.
it's
And
just,
then Ashley, we'll have one more of the Vail Whitewater series on
oh yeah,
Tuesday. And
yeah.
usually that's really popular because that's the first one or that's the closest one to the GoPro mountain games. And a lot of the competitors may already be in town and they're trying to get out there and see what the river is gonna be like.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, and also those competitors. Oh my gosh, they're amazing. Like the things that these people pull off are absolutely just fascinating to watch. So if you want to get that preview, 5 o'clock on Tuesday, come on down and just take a little look. And what's nice too, I think this is kind of like that's kind of like the sneak peek, right, Trisha? So you can come down before the crowds get here, and you get to see some of this talent before all the cameras are here, before everything's all set up for GoPro Mountain Games. and you really get to understand what it takes for them to pull off some of these things. And
Yeah.
of course, you know, again, it's just a great show. And you can say hi to our very own Ken Hovey, you know?
Yep.
Tell him hi. That guy
Ken will be
loves to
down
talk
there.
to people.
Oh, but Ashley, I gotta ask you about this. Do you know about the Eagle Outside Festival that's going
You
down in your neck of the
You
woods?
know what I do know about this? Okay, I'm gonna turn you back around again. Here's what I know about this. I was looking this up the other night with my husband, and in the list of things that are happening is the World Super Soaker Championships.
Yes.
Let me just okay. So for like 15 minutes, he's like, "All right, I'm gonna get like the best team. We're gonna do this. We are gonna compete. We are gonna get this all set up. We are gonna win. It's for kids. It's not for adults." But for
Oh,
like
they've
15
capped the
minutes,
ages.
he was assembling the team of the century of the Super Soaker Championships. So I do know that that's part of it. And I was also like, well, there's also like the pajama race. Like we could go and we could like
Yeah.
do a little like run. And he was like, no.
Yeah,
He was
you
only
lost him after the Super Soaker. That idea was squelched because of his age. He's too old. I bet you every Walmart and Target in the region is sold out of squirt
oh
guns because
yeah.
people want to compete in this.
I'm sure they are, and I'm sure there's been lots of practicing taking place just to make sure that people are ready to go, that they have the best aim possible, and yeah. So really, that's like the main thing that I know about the Eagle Outside Festival. I also happen to know that being an Eagle, it's such a beautiful community, and
Yeah,
that's really where I've spent the bulk of my pandemic time
yeah,
is in Eagle because we moved down there just before everything shut down. And so for the past year or so, my life has pretty much been be there, go to work, come home, spend more time there. So I've been out on the trails exploring, we've been road biking, we've been mountain biking, we've been hiking, and it's just what a stunning place to call home. I'm so grateful that that's where we get to call home, but it's been so fun to get out and actually understand the nooks and the crannies. And the pavilion right there is going to be the host for some of the events. And then, of course, the historic Main Street, great place to go and grab a cup of coffee, get some lunch. And then, of course, the Eagle River Park will also be a big destination for Eagle Outside Festival. And Ken has had a huge role in that, and he's been showing that off the past couple of days. So if you haven't been down to Eagle, if you haven't spent any time down there, it really is very worthwhile, and especially this weekend. Yeah, Heidi, it is so beautiful. And Ben, yes, Vail is so family friendly. You love it here, and Eagle is the same way. So it just kind of continues, and you're going to find a lot of our locals that do work here in the Vail Village. They all live down in Eagle. So we were taking a walk the other night, just with the dogs and cruising around the neighborhood, and it was one of those kind of it almost felt a little like Leave It to Beaver-ish for us because we
yeah.
kept running into people that we knew. We were stopping and talking and catching up about the kids and the dogs, and it's awesome. It's so
Well,
awesome. So if you haven't
and
been,
Ashley, Eagle Ranch was actually designed kind of with that Norman Rockwell feel, where they have the
yeah,
porches in the front, the garages in the back. They really wanted people to come back to the front of the house, the front yards, and communicate with each other. And I was talking to Mike McCormick, he's the organizer of this event, and he said, all of the businesses and the vendors and everyone have been leading in to make this happen. And that's what Eagle has really been doing a lot of times during the pandemic is supporting their own and just jumping in and doing what they can to help. And Mike was like, "Come on down, even if you're not from Eagle. Like they want to invite all the communities
yeah,
down." And he goes, "You'll know somebody, because we always
right.
do."
Right.
Yeah,
Well, you'll know me, so come say
yeah,
hi. You'll know Ken. And actually, on that note about how Eagle was designed, so when I was looking it up and we were researching buying, I am from Florida. I grew up in a place called Niceville. It's real. I'm sure a lot of
it's
you.
called
It's
Niceville.
called Niceville. Yep. And that right next to Niceville is Destin
Oh
and
yeah,
also a little place called Seaside, which is where the Truman Show was filmed. I don't know
I
if
have been
you're
there.
familiar with. Okay, so Seaside had the same designer that Eagle Ranch had. It's the same person that helped to lay it all out. So if any of you have been to Seaside, Florida, it's a very similar feeling as you're cruising around Eagle Ranch in particular. So I thought that that was really interesting in one of those signs where I was like, are you kidding me? Like in this tiny little place that I grew up in Florida that had a very similar architect. And, you know, when I was in high school, this dates me, the Truman Show was being filmed. And so it was a really big deal because a lot of my friends and a lot of our community were they were the extras in the movie. And so, anyway, so yes, Eagle, beautifully designed and has very um, similar aesthetic to Seaside in Florida.
Awesome. Okay, perfect. Yeah, Ashley from Niceville. That's how we're going to refer to you from now on. Okay, perfect. Well, Ashley, just to let you know, so I grew up in a small town called Kindred, and our motto was where kindness is a way of life.
Oh my gosh, that's so nice. That is so nice. That Kindred is okay. You want to know why they call it Niceville? So apparently back, I think it was in like maybe like the 70s or 80s, they were trying to drum up some more tourism in this place because it was originally called Boggy Bayou. So
Oh,
they're like,
kind of
I guess people
a
don't
little
really,
alliteration.
yeah, they're not really so keen on being like, ooh, Boggy Bayou, let's go there. So they're like, what could we change it to that would appeal to tourists? Niceville. There you
Niceville.
go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, perfect. Ashley, we'll be checking in with you all throughout the show today. She's going to be heading to some different shops and let you know what's going on. But right now, let's get to the weather. And as I mentioned to Ashley, we will see a high into the low 80s for Vail. Now, your weather report brought to you by Liv Sotheby's International Realty. It's the Colorado's leading real estate firm. Contact our Vail Valley broker professionals today to help you live the life you love. But clear skies throughout the day. And if it's going to be 80 in Vail, it is probably going to be upper 80s, maybe even the low 90s as you travel down to Gypsum, Eagle, all the way down to Glenwood Springs. So it is going to be a warm one today. Temperatures this morning, we're going to just get out of the 40s. And as you saw, Ashley was wearing a light down jacket. So you might need just a light jacket, maybe leaving the house today, walking the dog, that kind of thing. And we don't really have a chance of showers for today. And that's pretty rare. And low humidity as well. And then as we go throughout the next couple of days, we're going to see Saturday, sunny in the morning, and then a chance of isolated showers, probably about afternoon with increasing clouds, but still a highs in the low 80s. And then for your Saturday night, about a 20% chance of showers. So I think it's going to be really great weather for that Michael Fronte concert that is happening over at the Gerald R. Ford Amphitheater. Tickets still available the last time I checked. And speaking of the Ford Amphitheater, that is going to be the location where we pay our respects to Jeff Broush. Jeff Broush lost his battle to cancer at the end of January of this year. And due to COVID, of course, we weren't able to properly gather, and so they have that going on today. That's going to be from noon to 3. Jeff Roush was a wonderful local, lived here many years, came out shortly after college with his wife, Kelly. And if you have enjoyed pond skimming, if you enjoyed the Spring Back to Vail concerts or the Snow Days concerts, you have Jeff to thanks because when he was going for his MBA, he came up with this idea. Along with his brother-in-law Scott McCormick, to bring really cool events to the mountains. And one of them was to have an outdoor concert in the winter and have people gather. And Dave Cope, who's the local soccer coach here, he was a really good friend of his. And he said, it was crazy. Who would have come up with that idea? Who's going to come to these outdoor winter concerts? Well, if you've been to snow days, even when it's just dumping snow, those concerts are filled with people. And so we have Jeff to thank for those ideas, those crazy ideas. And oh, he was a good friend of ours in the Ville Valley. So we want to just pay our respects to the family and the friends of Jeff Roush. And if you are a friend of Jeff's or the families, you can stop by the Gerald R. Ford Amphitheater today between noon and 3. We'll be back with more Vail Daily Live.
They were really trying to push the limits of Cordillera, and at this point in time, Cordillera wasn't ready for this house. The site and the views that you can see out here really, so we really try to make it just all about the view. So you walk in the front door and you just open up and see everything out there in space. And the panoramas across the valley are just outstanding. So it was really easy. That really just helped lay it all out on the site really well for us. It's a really unique property. We put two 35-acre parcels together here for the client, and went through a pretty exhaustive process. But it's pretty unique to have this kind of individual estate sitting on such a large format property inside a gated community. It doesn't exist anywhere else in the Vail Valley.
Welcome back to Vail Daily Live. I'm Trisha Swenson, standing by here in our Eagle Vail studios, and we have Ashley standing by in Vail. She's probably going to go grab a cup of coffee right now. Hey, if you're looking to fuel your adventure, stop by the we've got Vail Mountain Coffee and Tea Company. Fuel your adventure. They've got their roastery in Minturn. They also have their brand new location up at Beaver Creek, and we've been stopping by there quite a few times in the last week. In addition to the coffees, they're having smoothies this summer. They also have some great snacks like empanadas. They also sell cocktails like wine in a can or the cocktails in a can. So it's your source for early morning drinks and your fueling throughout the day. So thank you so much for the cool coffee mug, Vail Mountain Coffee and Tea. But we want to let you know that Vail Resorts just made an announcement yesterday to open up Gondola One a little early. So originally Gondola One in Vail Village, and then the Eagle Bond Gondola over Line said we're going to open Father's Day weekend on the 19th of June. But Vail Resorts figured, hey, with the GoPro Mountain Games coming to town, and they're going to be just really centrally located right around the base of Gondola One, they thought they'd open it up on Friday, June 11th through Sunday, June 13th. Then they're going to shut it back down again, and that'll be open from 9:30 until 4:30. Lunch and ride options are available. Just scenic ride tickets are available. But if you've already bought your Epic Pass for next year, that's for the 2021-2022 season, we're going to be able to get you on that gondola for free. And you can buy that Epic Pass at any time. If you know you're going to be coming back and doing some skiing, it's good to just get it now. The price is going to be lower now this summer than it will probably by Labor Day. They always kind of jump the price as we get closer to the season. So just keep that in mind. They won't be doing bike haul yet. That'll wait until we open officially for the entire summer on June 19th. But hiking is available, and you can take the gondola up and hike down. A lot of those trails are dry. If you're going to go higher up, you might encounter a little bit of mud, and usually we say muddy trails or closed trails. So I would just take it from Midvale all the way back down, and then look forward to this summer with all these different activities up at Midvale. They will have Sarge's Deck open for some light lunch and snacks now, but when we get open for a full swing, we're going to be seeing yoga up there, the weddings up there. It'll be a lot of fun. And then Eagle Bond Gondola, that'll be opening once again on Father's Day weekend, and they're going to be bringing back some of the Adventure Ridge activities. Last year, just due to COVID, they had to keep all those closed. It was such a bummer because I love that alpine coaster, and I love the climbing and everything that they have with their ropes course. So we're looking forward to having that back. But we're going to take it back to Vail Village. Ashley is standing by, and Ashley, I almost called you Ashley Prill. I know you're Ashley LaFleur now. Ashley got married during COVID. So
I
if you
did.
knew that name when she was on TV, her name has changed. Same girl, different last name, but
That's so
beautiful
true.
last name.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that is the last name that I ended up with, right? So I'm standing here next to Gondola One, and yeah, thank you, Thomas LaFleur, for giving me that last name. But out here at Gondola One this morning, Trisha, beautiful, and I've just had a little squirrel fighting match that was just taking place on one of the on one of the little pathways over here. But as you can see with Gondola One behind me, obviously it's not running just yet. They've been doing a lot of testing lately and getting the employees up and getting ready for the summer season. But I am that history nerd, right? So let's just get right into that history nerdiness. So Gondola One, this sits right where the original gondola sat for Vail. And did you know that it happened to be the very first gondola in the United States? So that was a really, really big deal in 1962 when Vail opened, that they had that first gondola. They also had a pommel lift. They had a couple two-seater chairs, and it accessed, are you ready for this? 6 square miles of terrain in
Wow.
1960. I know. Yeah. But it was a big deal back in the day. And then obviously, gondolas age over time, as do we all. And so in 2012, for the 50th anniversary, I'm sure that you were here for this, but they decided to do a huge upgrade, and they ended up replacing it with the gondola that stands here now. And of course, Gondola 1 being the name for the one that used to be here. So that was an homage to the area where the first gondola sat. And of course, these gondola cars are just, they are so in line with Vail, right? Like, they are not anybody's just average gondolas. These ones happen to have Wi-Fi, they have heated seats, they can fit 10 people. And then it takes about 7.5 minutes to get from here up to mid-mountain. So it's a really beautiful, just easy cruise. I've seen moose from the gondola cabin, and of course, plenty of sunrises too, as I in my former days used to go up and test out those conditions for you live first thing in the morning. So
Well, and
really
I remember when 2012, when the 50th anniversary was here, and we would hear about these gondola cars, and I think it was almost like an Italian designer who came up with these cars. I mean, they're quite expensive, each one of them.
Mhm.
I think we have 111 of them, and
Right.
usually they'll be all up in that gondola barn, which is at the
Yeah.
top of the Midvale.
Well, gondolas have to sleep at night too, Trisha,
Yeah.
and also, be protected from the elements that we do have roll through here on occasion. And so, yeah, we have 111 of those cabins, and 110 of them are this silver color that you're seeing right here behind me. That's number 54 and 4 and 6 over there. But cabin number 50 is a very special color. It's all gold, and you'll see the 50th anniversary written on it as you're riding the gondola up, because of course it commemorated that year of 2012 and that big celebration. So when you come over here and you take that first scenic gondola ride of the season, keep your eye out for it. I feel like it's always like, that's like one of those fun games that you can play with the kids, and all right, who's going to see it first?
I
And
know. I always get excited if I go in it. I'm like, "Hey, lucky car number 50."
right. I've
All
never
right.
ridden in it. I've never
Yeah.
ridden in it. And I
Oh,
worked for Vail for, 4 years. So if you get to ride in it, just consider yourself very lucky. That's a
yeah,
big,
buy a lottery ticket or something.
right,
Okay.
right, exactly.
Okay, thank you, Ashley, for
Yeah.
coming in today and
All right.
giving us the reports from Vail and a little bit of history on Gondola One. When we come back, we're going to give you headlines with Nate Peterson, our Vail Daily editor.
We're for the fashion forward and budget minded. We've got the brands that set you apart, the style to make you stand out, the looks that let you shine. We are for the dreamers, the doers, and the savers. Outlets at Silverthorne. Elevate your savings. Save up to 70% on the best designer brands. Visit outletsatsilverthorne.com for current sales and events.
Do you dream of owning land near the biggest lakes, tallest 14ers, and the best metal fishing in Colorado? How about right in the heart of ski country? Would it be worth a $75 raffle ticket for a chance to win it? You can own land in Twin Lakes and help St. Vincent Hospital Foundation raise funds. The drawing for this half-acre residential lot is June 24th. Buy your tickets today at coloradolandrush.com.
We are back, and joining us now, we have Nate Peterson. He's the editor of the Vail Daily. And Nate, glad to have you here this morning. You know, wake up early to join us.
I am so happy to be here, Trisha. So glad to see you in the seat.
I know. Usually editors have a little bit later hours than
Right,
us morning show people.
I was also looking forward to sleeping in this morning because the kids are out of school, but
I know, we're
my
like,
call
hey,
time, so.
you want to come? You want to come early? And yeah, and I was talking to your wife, and she said, are you going to bring Max? And it's like, well, no, it's his first day off of school.
Kids are sleeping in right now.
Okay. And you know what? And that's what our cover photo was today, and one of our stories. So it was a big year and a challenging year for schools.
It was a really challenging year, but I think it was also, watching my kids finish their school year last year. There was a lot of hugs, a lot of promises to like write over the summer, pen pal stuff. So hats off to our teachers or educators for pulling off this school year in a pandemic. We kept kids in school all year long. There were quarantine notices that went out, but we did it better than a lot of places around the state and a lot of places around the country.
Yeah. I think Eagle County knows because we were an early adopter of the COVID coronavirus disease, but we got out of it quicker. We managed it pretty well. We were able to have a normal ski season and a somewhat normal school.
So this is a funny story, Trisha. My wife took this front page photo because yesterday I was in a bind trying to get someone out. The school district was going to let us shoot Homestake Peak School, but I couldn't get the photographer that's working for us right now up there. And so my wife and another person went out there and shot some photos. So there you go.
Emily Peterson.
Emily Peterson.
I know. I think she used one of our iPhone 12 phones.
I think she got some footage too. So.
She did get some footage of the school, and she said it was so cute. Everyone was so happy, and it was a very celebratory mood,
right?
And everything. Okay, well, also celebratory. Gondola 1 is going to be opening. We were talking about that.
I mean, we're back, right?
Yes.
Like the gondola's opening. We're having the big first concert of the season tonight. So I think people are ready for the summer. Gondola 1 won't be doing bike hauling until June 19th, but it will be open for those 3 or 4 days for the Vail Mountain Game. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you can go take in some views, hike around, and I think people, I know the businesses are really excited in the village for that.
Okay, and then also in school news, Eagle County Charter Academy's most recent diversity push, it fell short of expectations. I think Allie Longwell was writing a story on that, with the superintendent applauds the school for its big efforts in increasing diversity, but it's still not happy with its modest results. What's the story behind that?
Story is, I think they're trying, but I think they're also saying that they're not seeing that they want the school population to be representative of the community. That's part of their charter. So some of it is going to be sort of tweaking the system in this lottery system. That's how kids get into the school, is that even weighing points a little higher for kids that are qualified for free or reduced lunch, kids that live in certain neighborhoods, doing some outreach in the Spanish community, the Spanish speaking community, whether it's on the radio. So I think everybody says, they're earnestly trying to do this, but I think they're not happy with the results. So they're going to go back to the drawing board and try and get more people to apply for this lottery to help change the look of that school.
Okay, yep. So you can find out more about that in the Vail Daily today. And then styrofoam in Avon. Avon's effort to ban styrofoam could revive under this proposed law. And for years, Colorado lawmakers have been searching for a way to remove the state regulation which prevents towns from banning styrofoam. But new legislation could provide an avenue for such changes. So John LeConte was writing this story. What's up
We
with
call
this?
these stories a talker. Basically there's a law on the books that municipalities can't, ban styrofoam. And, so, I mean, Avon has tried this. So this state law, which has failed before, it failed to come out of committee last time. Now it's passed the Senate. So this would allow basically Avon to have some teeth in its enforcement, and if they wanted to choose to ban styrofoam or things like single-use plastic bags, it would allow them to do that. So
okay, awesome. And I'm excited. We have the Parade magazine insert back. I like this. I read these when I was a kid, and I'd play it. Did the little games, and I like the little star section. So we've got that in the paper, and we're going to let you know about all the golf courses. This is coming out in the paper today too. And that's another thing the Vail Daily does. We do all these different magazines. We've got the biking magazine, summer camps, so different things for people to do. So check this out. And then I got to say, we've got a big birthday coming up. the Vail
Yes,
Daily.
the Vail Daily is turning 40. I turned 40 this year first, and then the Vail Daily is going to turn 40. So June 15th.
Yeah, awesome. It's interesting. We've been having some discussions about stories during the last 4 decades, and some that come up, you forget about these things. The bank robbers who use a chairlift as their getaway vehicle.
I think I was here when that happened. And I mean, that was a story that went like international, hit the wires. These guys.
Or the pilot.
I think they robbed the first bank over there.
Yeah, the first bank, right by the church.
Yeah.
Yeah, they took off on the Bristol or something. Or the pilot that crashed into Craig Peak.
I'm not familiar with that story. I mean, we had an email chain going. There was all these, it was like, remember this, remember that, and it was pretty hilarious. So I think looking forward to doing some of that coverage. People love nostalgia, and so I think it'll be good to look back at 40 years of stories and the stories behind the stories.
Okay, perfect. And arts and entertainment this weekend. Yes, Michael Fronte. He's coming back to the Ford Amphitheater. We've got a lot of entertainment and Eagle Outside Festival, just different things, and you can find out about it. A lot of people grab this on Fridays to figure out what their weekend's plans.
So I got a great Michael Fronte story. I know people are excited for live music to come back in a big way at the amphitheater. Out of college, my first job was at the Vail Daily. You know this, right?
Yes.
I worked with a guy, Andrew Harley. We were part of a 2.5-man sports department, and Harley, he worked some A&E as well. One day he marched in the office, and he quit his job because he wanted to follow Michael Fronte around the country because he thought he was a prophet. This is the effect that Michael Fronte has on people, is that his music is so good that people want to quit their jobs at the Vail Daily to go follow around the country.
Maybe he'll circle around. Maybe he'll be in the crowd.
So don't get any ideas, Trisha. We need you to hold down this morning show.
Yeah, Nate, I'm quitting. I'm following Fronte down to Morrison. He's going to be at Red Rocks the next 2 days, and then I'll be back to work on Monday.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, Nate, thanks so much for coming in. Any other stories you want to talk about today? You know what? Do we have the Rick Spitzer story? He does such a good job with our wildlife cover photos. He's been showing eagles and a little, the baby eagles. But
yes. So this is a great story. He's written about this before. As a lot of people know, they've launched this thing called the Eagle County Wildlife Roundtable, where they're trying to get all these different folks together talking about wildlife to give a voice to the animals, when it comes to land use, recreational use, those sorts of things, that more people talking about these things, advocating for our wildlife, which is, in decline with more people coming here, more people using our trails and our wonderful area. But so I think with that, it's basically trying to advocate for wildlife, to preserve wildlife for future generations. And so Rick is like the one with the big, megaphone talking about it, but I think a lot of other people are talking about it as well.
Yeah. What a great organization to start and to really think about that, because
as well as getting people that, meaningful people in terms of Colorado Parks and Wildlife and the Forest Service and those people at the table as well to advocate and get in front of county commissioners and those sorts of things.
Okay. All right. The Vail Daily for Friday, June 4th. Pick up your copy in blue newspaper dispensers all throughout the valley from Eastvale down to Gypsum, or go online. And I think that's where a lot of people got their news all through the pandemic.
Right.
From all
you can always go to vaildaily.com. There's something going on there. There's also Vail Daily Live. So.
All right. And if you have any complaints, talk to this guy. Letters to the editor. All right. Well, Nate, thank you. You guys are doing a great job over there, keeping us informed and keeping our community connected.
You're doing a great job, Trisha.
Okay.
So good to be here.
All right. Thanks so much. All right. Rachel behind she's in master control, controlling the buttons. What are we doing now? Are we going to a break?
Yeah, let's go to a break and we'll come right back.
Okay. We'll be back with weather, and Ashley's going to stand by with some reports from Vail.
Plastic surgery isn't just about looking good, it's about feeling good. At Mangett Plastic Surgery Institute and Skincare, from the moment you walk in the door, we want you to feel confident and empowered, while our team of specialists help you find the best version of yourself. With 2 of the nation's leading plastic surgeons right here in the mountains, we have one goal: personalized care with exceptional results. Mangett Plastic Surgery Institute and Skincare. Your beauty should be effortless.
Welcome back to Vail Daily Live. Hey, I was just talking about the Mountain Golf 2021 Eagle County's local courses. It came out in today's Vail Daily, and that's going to lead into our lens of the day. So we've got these awesome Oakleys that are great for golf. And on their website, they were showing the difference between using this lens and what it would be like not using this lens. And I'm not sure if we got the picture, Rachel, but okay, well, she's gonna get a quick second, but really cool the way that they do such a great job with this. So just these are nice and lightweight from Oakley as well. And if you're gonna be golfing, it's just easier to see the ball. It's just easier to follow, that grass. It's just so bright out there. So these are pretty awesome. The Oakley dark lenses, or it's for dark golf. Yep, that's what we got. So you can check it out there. And the Portal X is what it's called. And just a super awesome lens for golfing. And I can't find my notes on it, but hopefully we're gonna have Ashley standing by at Eyepieces. Maybe she can ask them about them. But yeah, I love these lenses. But look for the dark golf, and that's gonna help you see the green a little bit better. Yeah, you know what, Rachel, if you scroll down all the way down. I think it's on the bottom of that page. Oh, yeah, right there. Okay, so here's the difference with the dark lens. So just nice, you can see the definition a bit more. So just impact protection from your lenses. You can pick your frame color, you can pick your lens color, but golfers consider getting the Oakley Portal if you're going to be out there on the links today. All right, so that's your lens of the day, brought to you by Eyepieces. And they are the art division. And we do have Eyepieces in the heart of Vail Village. They have their main store right across from Solaris. Ashley's going to be heading up to the Bridge Street store. And then they also have their brand new sports store located at the Sun and Elf, right next to the new Treff Cafe. You might be like, what's the Treff Cafe? Well, the Treff Cafe is actually, remove my microphones here, is the new little coffee shop at the Sun and Elf as well. But we're going to check in with Ashley. She's at the Squash Blossom. Are they ready to go? Okay, looks like they are. Hi, ladies. Hi, Hillary.
Hello. Hi, hello. Isn't it funny that she actually gets to be part of
I
it?
know.
It's like a trio effect. But so you guys, you already know each other. But for those of our viewers that do not, this is Hillary Magner, and she and her husband own Squash Blossom right here in Vail Village. And I mean, Hillary, really, I feel like the reason that we are standing here is because of your just straight up passion and dedication to this business, because you did not have the easiest time just getting right into it, right?
That is true. We opened 2019, December, right before, I guess we got a couple months in before the world exploded.
And here you are with this incredibly beautiful store. And this is something that you guys were passionate about jewelry for so long before you ended up in this location.
Yes, Kevin actually worked in the business for 25 years, actually worked for the Cogswells. So it was an easy transition for him knowing the jewelry business. And I came from corporate America, but long story short, fire in the belly does really help persevere my type A personality, as Kevin would call it. Did help us out.
But this is truly, it's a family owned and operated business.
Yes. Yep, we've been in the Valley for 6 years. Our kids go to school here, so we're really about creating community and working with other small businesses. In fact, we had a concierge event last night to kind of do a referral program. We partnered with other stores in the Valley to kind of help promote and help each other out.
That's so nice. And then, you've been doing some really cool events too that are so great for the entire family.
Yes. So we started making bracelets. That kind of came out of COVID, called the Hope Bracelets, and we were giving $10 to the community fund because they are in dire need. And then that kind of transitioned to starting bracelet making classes and birthday parties. So every Sunday from 12 to 2 outside our store, we'll be making bracelets, and just as a way to have fun, learn about the gemstones, and take a little treasure home with you from Vail.
I mean, that's so fun. I mean, imagine being able to bring your kids over, make that bracelet, then have them bring that home with them, and then they're going to cherish that for years. I mean, what a special thing to bring home with you, and it's the experience too. But then you're telling me that you're doing some ear piercing?
Yeah, so Kevin, COVID pushed us into doing some new services. So Kevin's my ear piercer. Right now we're just doing a gun, but we're working on doing needle piercings. In fact, we're trying to have a piercing event with a designer over 4th of July weekend. So stay tuned on our website. Lots of events happening. We're trying to partner all of our trunk shows that are happening this summer with something else, like a how to, learn about the gemstones or learn about the designer, maybe throw in, a little coffee session, a little wine, a whiskey and watch tasting. So just kind of make it a little bit fun and learn something.
Ladies, I got to quit.
What do you think, Trisha? Any ideas from you or the audience?
Well, you know what? I was going to ask you about ear piercing. I remember I had to wait till I was like 12 before I could get my ears pierced. Was any kind of rules like that in your house?
We have no rules. I have 2 boys, so we are going to kind of steer away from the ear piercing. However, we don't discriminate.
But did you have to wait when you were a girl?
No, I got pierced when I was 6, and my stepdad was a doctor. In fact, he did it wrong, so I have like an extra hole over here. So no rules in our family.
Ashley, did you have to wait?
I don't remember if I had to wait like a certain amount of time, but I do remember I was so incredibly excited, and we went to the mall. You guys, we have a VHS tape of this situation, and they did the gun, and it was more the counting down that freaked me out than the actual piercing. So you can see it. Like I was such a little a hypochondriac, right? Like they do the 3, 2, and then they did it, and I was still just like fine. And then as soon as I heard the noise and heard the countdown, then tears explosion. I'm sure my family my mom had to be laughing so hard. It was so fake.
Okay, resume. I just wanted to ask that little question. Okay, but yes, continue on. Carry on.
So, Trisha, I don't know. I'm sure you saw this the other day, but Hillary has this amazing. Okay, first of all, can you just turn? Look at how beautifully decorated her ear is, and she has these really cool pieces that just you were showing us how to decorate your ear properly.
Yeah, so we have a video that we just came out called How to Ear Stack. It's kind of the latest trend, but it's actually pretty fun. These little pedal jackets, you can just put them behind your ear. Like if just a plain stud or any kind of stud, you just add that to the back of your ear. And then you just kind of work your way up the ear, do a little stud. And then these are really fun, these little ear cuffs, no piercing, no tears needed. But you just put these on the back of your cartilage and they just sit there. I usually wear 2 or 3, but you can just wear 1. So it's just a great kind of little add-on to your ear day.
It's so fun. And I feel like the little jackets that you can add to your studs. I mean, I didn't even know that was something that was available. I feel like that's brand new in jewelry trends.
Yeah, and this designer, we just started carrying her. Her name is Samantha Luis, and she's an artist from Denver. So we're really, trying to support women, as especially local artists in Colorado too. So they made it easy for us.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, fun to get some advice on how to. And then obviously, Hillary and I got the memo about the jean jackets and the striped dresses. Right. But clearly, someone was on their jewelry game this morning. So I would love to come in and just be okay, how would I do this?
Right.
And clearly, this is what you do. And now we were talking to you a little bit about some of the charms that you have here in the store. Henry, I'm going to put you on the spot. So we're going to turn Henry around right behind you. All right, so Hillary, come on over. Tell us a little bit about these.
So Trisha, the GoPro games are happening next weekend. So we thought it'd be fun to kind of show you some sterling silver charms. They're made here in Vail. We have a biker and then, some winter activities. We may be getting some kayaks and more summer things before next weekend, but we also have the traditional Vail logo as well. You throw it on a silver charm bracelet or a necklace. Is just a great kind of treasure to take home well.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, and you can collect or for a birthday or graduation.
Yeah. Remember from your kid, I know you guys have these charm bracelets. They're coming back, ladies. And it kind of takes each one of your little treasures from your trips you can add on.
Well, and I'm sure for parents too, it's so nice because that can fit in luggage easily.
Right.
It doesn't even have to go in luggage. And it's just it's gonna be beautiful. And again, something that they can hold on to for years, and maybe is a little bit more fun than like picking up rocks from everywhere. I have friends that have twins. They always come home with like pockets full of rocks right now. So.
Yeah, a lot lighter.
Right, a little bit lighter, a little prettier. And so what are your hours right now?
We are 10 to 5. Next week will be 10 to 7.
Okay. And for people that are not aware, where you're located, right in the heart of Vail Village.
Right by Sweet Basil, literally diagonal from Sweet Basil.
Hey, I spy some hats. Show me these hats that I see.
We started, these are new too. We partnered with Ski Town All Stars, another local business here. I'll give them a shout out. But this is our Squash It hat, and then our logo with the Vail, Colorado too. Yeah. So you can take home a hat as well.
Yeah, so many great options, and really for all ages when you come in, and I would imagine that you've also got some great gifts for Father's Day too.
We do have some great gifts. We started carrying these whiskey glasses that have 970, which is our area code, or the zip code 81657.
Nice.
Because whiskey is kind of the new trend for fathers, or tequila. So we have those glasses, and then we also have some cool watch winders that you put your automatic watch in and it turns, so you don't have to even reset it. That's in that
really
window over there. And we have some cool hats. And of course, turquoise. You know, Squash Blossom's been known for turquoise for, I don't know, 47 years.
Yeah.
We just came back from New Mexico and have tons of cool bolos and new cuffs and rings. So for the man that free.
That's so awesome.
Okay, Hillary, do you still have the coffee, the specialty
We have
coffee?
Yes. So we also post-COVID here.
A little road trip
Over here. Post-COVID, new addition to the Squash Blossom is our bar area over here. See if you guys see it. So we have a fully stocked bar, thankful to our neighbors next door from Vail Fine Wine. But then we also partnered with Savage Coffee. They are coffee producers from Panama, and they produce some of the finest coffee. So we have come in, get a coffee, and taste some delicious coffee.
Yum.
Awesome.
Yum, yum. Ooh, and then like not your average whiskey.
Oh, here's
up
the
here,
whiskey.
too.
Here's the whiskey glasses.
Oh, those are cool.
Oh, there's a cool 970. Awesome. Yep.
Some more
Father's Day.
treasures. Yeah.
That's so
This
cool.
would go well with a bottle of whiskey or something.
Right. Yeah. Super fun. I know some people.
All right.
like that.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for the tour and those gift ideas, whether for the graduate or for if you're just coming to town and want to take a trinket home. And Squash Blossom, located right across from Sweet Basil, basically. And great to see you. Great to see you, Hillary, as
Thanks,
well.
guys.
Okay. Thank you, ladies, for giving us those details. And Rachel, are we going to show the little more of the Squash Blossoms? Okay, perfect. We're going to tell you more about ear stacking. And then when we come back, we've got some fly fishing information, more info on live music, and Ashley will be moving on down to eyepieces.
Hi, I'm Hillary with Squash Blossom Vail, and today I'm going to give you some styling tips on how to change up your ear. Ear stacking has been the latest trend, and don't worry if you don't have more than one piercing, you can still make your ear fun. So what I have today is just a basic stud. This is actually an inverted stud, but everybody kind of has basic studs at home. You can just take your basic stud and add a petal jacket to it. Now I do have a second hole piercing, so I added a cute little stud this way. Then I go up the ear. These are called ear cuffs, and these just kind of wrap around the cartilage. No piercing necessary. I've stacked 3, but you could just do a 1, and it just kind of freshens up your ear. Here are some other little options down here. This is just a plain petal jacket, and then these go above the ear, and then you can stick any kind of stud in. And this is an awesome fringe that goes on the back, and then another little basic ear cuff. You can mix and match and play with your stacking.
Welcome back to Vail Daily Live. I'm Trisha Swenson coming to you live from our Vail Daily studios in Eagle Vale. But right now we want to look at the chat, and feel free to chat with us when we are live, which is 7 to 8:30 Mountain Standard Time. You can do so on our Facebook and our YouTube channels. If you're on vaildaily.com or vaildailylive.com, they don't have the chat feature. So hop on over to those other platforms if you want to interact with us. And then if you are watching us on demand, unfortunately, you won't be able to do the chat because, of course, we're going to be probably sleeping because we've been up so early. So, but here's a look at what we have. From Kesha, we have the best schools and teachers and staff. Thank you so much for keeping things open this past school year. I agree. Congrats. School just ended yesterday for Eagle County. So we had that and as one of our headlines in today's Vail Daily. Also, what is the Vail Daily doing to celebrate his 40th birthday? Meredith, we're going to be having some great articles that look at the past 4 decades and the big news stories that happen. Our official birth date is June 15th. So look for that coming up next week. And enjoying the show. It's great to see some of our local personalities back on. Thank you so much for that, Jennifer. Great to hear from you. And Rodney Travis. Rodney, good to hear from you, man. Hello from Charleston. He watched the show yesterday. He saw us make the smoothie and put Ken in a hyperbaric chamber. But Rodney's been a great fan of the Vail Valley for a long time. So great to hear from you, buddy. And then love the how-tos. I never know how to wear jewelry. I know Hillary does such a good job of telling us where to stack the earrings with her cute cuffs. And I love the little petals too. So thank you, chat. Thanks for playing with us today. And if you have a question, ask us. If you want to see something, hey, let us know. And we'll try to fulfill your request. But right now, we're going to take it to your fly fishing report. I just spoke to the folks over at Fly Fishing Outfitters. Riley was who I talked to yesterday, and he said the fly fishing, their little tips and tricks for you haven't changed much from last week to this week. Although the river is getting a little bit higher, it's still pretty good. The color is still pretty good right now. They're using nymphing and dry droppers with caddis and stoneflies. That's still been productive. And then nymphing and streamers are probably your best bet in the higher off-color water. They do want you to be careful when wading near the banks as they can be saturated. They can collapse a little bit underfoot. And they also recommend going with larger attractor nymph patterns and the fish, and then the slow seams along the banks right around that area for your best results. You can go to flyfishingoutfitters.net. That's their website. They have all the fly fishing reports for the Roaring Fork Valley, the Frying Pan River, as well as the Eagle, the Colorado, of course. And they're recommending float trips right now just because the wade trips with the water that's going so fast, it is a little dangerous. They want you to be fishing with a buddy, but call them for a float trip. And don't forget about their Orvis schools that they have throughout the summer. Fly Fishing Outfitters, located right next to Agave and Avon. They've been locally owned and operated since 1992, and they're the only locally owned and Orvis endorsed fly fishing shop here in the area. But let's let you know what the weather's going to be like. Those fish, they're going to be a little warm today because we're expecting a high of 82 for Vail and warmer down valley. Want to thank the outlets at Silverthorne for this weather report. They've got fresh air styles, mountains of brands, and elevated savings. But sunny sunscreen is the name of the game today. Make sure you put the sunscreen on early and reapply it often. I'd recommend an SPF of probably 30 or higher, and put it on right at the beginning of the day, right now, because you're going to forget. You're going to forget when you're out on the bike ride or the golf course. You don't want to get that bad tan this early, that bad burn this early in the season. Plenty of sunshine today, clear skies overnight. We'll see an overnight low about 45. Tomorrow, pretty similar temperature wise. We'll see a high right around the low 80s once again, up valley, warmer down valley, but we do have a chance of some isolated showers rolling in. Yesterday, I went for a hike after work and didn't even think about a chance of rain. I was finishing it out. I had some sprinkles on me, dark cloud. I was like the cartoon with the dark cloud just following me. So the afternoon showers, you never quite know where they're going to hit and where in the valley you're going to be and if it's going to affect you. So just bring a rain jacket just in case. So that's look at your weather. But we've got more coming up. We talked about the chat and how we want to have your comments. We also want to have your user content. We'll let you know more about that. But camping is very popular right now. A little hard to get camping spots. During COVID, camping became so popular. But if you are going to be going out there this weekend, and if you have time to prep ahead for some of your meals, it's going to be easier out there and it's going to be delicious. Allie Stevens has more. With a little bit of prep beforehand, you can have a great tasting quiche on your camping trip. Here to tell us more, we have Allie Stevens. She's with Season to Taste. And this is a great way to go on the camping trip. You can make a lot of things before you go. You can even freeze it and keep it in the cooler for a little while.
It'll be all ready to go. All you'll have to do when you get to your campsite is just heat it up on your camp stove.
Awesome.
So it'll be ready to go. So we start with a sweet potato crust. So you just thinly slice them, the sweet potatoes, and then you'll place them into your pan. That will create your crust. So then you'll bake that.
And you put a little bit of coconut oil on
so
them,
just
right?
put some coconut oil in your hands, put a little on each piece, and then bake it 425 about 20 minutes.
And what a great way to incorporate another vegetable.
So there's no heavy butter shell at all.
Okay.
And then one of the other ingredients in there is a leek. So you don't use any of the dark green. So we'll just cut that off. And then just since it's breakfast, I'll cut this in half. And then if there's any dirt in here, that's where you would rinse it off.
Okay.
So, and then you'll just thinly slice them.
Okay.
Okay, and so we already have our leeks and everything prepared for our filling. So what this is ground sausage. You're free to use mushrooms if you want to replace the sausage. We sauteed that in a little bit of coconut oil, and then we took that out, put our leeks in there with a little bit of ghee, clarified butter, added a tablespoon of water and let that steam for a couple minutes, and then add our spinach to wilt, mix it all back together.
Okay, and then how many eggs are we using?
Yep. So we have about 7 eggs here. These pans that you can bring camping a little smaller, so you don't want to overfill it. And then we're going to add just a little bit of coconut milk. All right, perfect. And then also here we have some nutritional yeast. It just packs a little bit extra protein.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, and it might add a little bit of a cheesy flavor as well. And then some salt and pepper.
Okay, so we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna pour it into our, and you've already put this in the oven, right?
That's already been baked. Our crust is ready to go.
Okay.
All right. So then we would pour our filling on top of our sweet potato crust.
Okay, awesome.
You might have a little bit left over. And then we would just pour our filling on top of there.
Okay. Good to go.
Yep.
All right. All right. Well, Allie, and then what do we cook this on?
So this will be at 400 for about 20-25 minutes, just until the eggs aren't jiggling anymore.
Voila. All right. So a great camping treat with a little prep at home. This is how you do it. If we want to find out more, what's your website?
Season to Taste, co.com.
Welcome back to Vail Daily Live. I'm Trisha Swenson here in the Eagle Vail Studios. We're going to take it out to Ashley LaFleur. She's wandering around Vail Village. And Ashley, where are you now? I see some sort of water feature.
Yeah,
Oh, hi.
so I'm here, of course, on just one of the most iconic, I guess, streets you could say here in Vail Village. Beautiful start to the day, and you can also see there's a lot going on. So we have a lot of people starting to mill about, and then this is kind of like the witching hour when all of the trucks come to get loaded up and drop off all the food supply, take out all the trash. So a lot of noise taking place. There's one of those trucks right there. People are kind of milling about, grabbing breakfast. But Trisha, I wanted to show you. I got myself a hat from
Oh, that's
Blossom.
awesome.
But listen, they're so cute that I picked one out for you too.
Oh,
So,
yay.
yeah, I'm gonna bring it back. Not
Thanks.
like, remember how I told you that I got you coffee the other day and I really didn't? I actually did get you a hat. But
I know. They come back and I'm like, hey, where's my chai tea? And she's like, oh, I really didn't get you one. I'm like, what?
that was big. But here's the thing. So, walking around Vail, obviously, being on the covered bridge or some really iconic locations. And where I'm at right now, this is called Wall Street. And you wouldn't know that. That's just kind of something that I think that's probably more of like a local term that you would identify this as Wall Street. But there's something that's really special about this area, besides the fact that, look at how gorgeous this is. They have these really beautiful fountains that just dot the whole area along where these benches are. Also, public restrooms, really important. I know it's not super sexy, but it's kind of a necessity.
You got to know where they are.
Yeah. So something that's really, really amazing about this street and why I love it so much is that it's part of Vail's dedication to public art. So in 2004, they kind of renovated this area in particular, and everything from the railings on the staircase. Let me show you this. Look at how beautiful. Like, this is not your average railing, right? And then of course you also have the fountain feature, and that's gorgeous. Oh my gosh, this truck is so loud. I'm so sorry. It's so loud.
I know, and
they're just like parked right there. But let me just turn you around, because you don't really need to hear for this part. So part of Wall Street is they have these puzzles that are built into the ground. Can you see that right there?
Oh,
so
yeah.
they have all of these different ones. And let me just be honest with you. I can show you the easiest ones. I can solve the easiest ones. There's still some that I have no idea what they are. But for instance, we have this one here. What do you think this one is, chat?
Okay.
What do you think, Trisha?
Okay, you know what? I do
guesses?
know that one.
Okay.
If Chad needs a hint, it is a run on Vail Mountain.
Okay.
And I'll give you one more hint. It is a run in Blue Sky Basin.
Oh, all right. I like those hints. Okay, chat, tell us what you think. Now, also, right next to this one, we have this one that I also am very familiar with. I would say the hint on this one is it's kind of like one of the mascots of Vail and makes a very high-pitched sound when you approach.
Yes, and you can see those. They like to sun themselves on rocks.
Yes.
Usually, when you're on your hike, you'll hear them before you see them. Okay, I know what that is.
All right, then there's one more over here that I feel pretty confident on. It's right next to this bench. All right, you ready? Okay. Here we are.
Yes. Okay. Yep, I know that one too.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So, should we reveal the answers?
Okay. Well, let's just pick it back up over here. Okay, so I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but this first one, let me get you nice and smooth. This one is Cloud 9, of course, one of our favorite runs. And then we have Whistle Pig, which is another name for marmots, which are they're kind of like the mammal of Vail Mountain. Like, you see them everywhere. You really do. Yeah. And then we also have China Bowl, which of course is another great spot to get out and enjoy while you're skiing or snowboarding. So all kinds of hidden gems that are here on Wall Street. I'm gonna walk away from that street sweeper because wow.
I know it is loud.
It's really loud.
You know what? Whistle Pig reminds me of Snow Pig, which of course is my favorite slice of pizza at Vendetta's, and I see that right behind you.
Yes,
that patio right there.
Oh yeah, right here, right behind me.
Okay.
Great place for a slice of pizza. And then there's also right at the top of the street, besides the fact that you're gonna find just a beautiful little hints of public art. There's this cool little playground. It's called the Founders Play Area. But they have just some fun things to kind of climb on. There's a cloud that you can make noise, and then you also have just some little spongy turf, and it's just a nice little spot to take a break with the kids and get some energy out. So
I know. I remember interviewing Earl Eaton, one of the founders of Vail, when they were.
What? You got to talk to him? That's so cool.
Yeah, when they were starting that little plaza area, and just different construction projects, usually the mountain would close and they would go straight into construction. So I remember that area pre playground and everything. But Ashley, I was going to ask you about some of the events coming up. I think we're going to see a lot of people coming to town later on today, and then do a little pregame before the Michael Fronte concert, grabbing a bite to eat, maybe grabbing a drink, or heading to the Ford Amphitheater. But it's so great to have live music back, and I think especially the sounds of Michael Fronte. He's just such a feel good kind of guy, and his band Spearhead does such a great job with this too.
Yeah, I had a chance to interview him back when I was working over at TV8 in Breckenridge. And did you lose me? He's still there? Oh, there he is. Okay.
Yeah.
So, notice this is a perfect picture to show while I'm talking about this. You'll notice that he's barefoot right there. So that is like his absolute favorite way to be, is barefoot. And so when we did our interview, we were in his trailers, like an RV. And one of my friends had set this up. She would pull these connections. She's like, Ashley, this is a really, really big deal. And I was so terrified because I was still relatively new to broadcasting. And he was probably one of the biggest names that I had talked to at that point. And so we were getting ready for the Revolution ski tour to come through Breckenridge, and he was the headliner. And so I go in and I say hi. He could not have been a more wonderful, accommodating, pleasant person, barefoot while we did the whole interview. And even though this was in like January in Breckenridge and it was like 10 degrees outside, and so I was asking him, like, okay, is this something that you do like even when there's snow on the ground? He's like, Ashley, please. Like, no, I'm not uncivilized, but this is just how I prefer to be. He's like, I do have like some sandals and things to cover my feet when there's snow on the ground, but for the most part, you're going to find him barefoot and just one of the most authentic, lovely humans that just makes me, I feel like his music just makes me so happy and just makes me want to dance,
Well, and you know what? This is his first tour after COVID. He'll be at the Gerald R. Ford Amphitheater tonight, but then he's going to go over to Red Rocks and play a couple shows there. I think they're going to do yoga early in the morning tomorrow morning at Red Rocks as well. And it's called A Good Day for a Good Day weekend tour, and I think it's just so fun that we'll have him there, and it's just so wonderful to have live music come back. And then we're gonna have Yonder Mountain String Band kick off the Mountains of Music for the GoPro Mountains games, and there's still tickets for that. I know the other concerts are sold out for Bob Weir and the Wolf Brothers, but we've got Yonder Mountain taking the stage on Thursday. Tickets for this are just $15 for pavilion, covered seating, and lawn general admission $10. But don't you just love the Ford Amphitheater?
Oh my gosh. I was just thinking I should probably take my mom to that show. She just moved out here right before COVID shut everything down. And so we really haven't had a chance to get out and explore a lot of these things together. So she hasn't seen a show there yet. And she used to manage the theater. She was the house manager of the Fox Theater in downtown Atlanta. So she's very well versed with, beautiful theaters and venues, but she has not been to a concert there yet. And I think it's going to blow her mind.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. And of course, they've released tickets to the Villar Center. Some of those shows. We've got Almond. We've got the Almond Betts Band. So that has the Almond Betts Band includes Devin Allman and Dwayne Betts and some other great performers. So we're going to have those guys playing some music. And so it's really neat that we were able to release more tickets at the Villar Performing Arts Center for not only them, but all the other concerts like Leanne Rimes, Randy Rogers. So we're really excited.
The VPAC schedule and just like cherry picking some of my favorites that are coming up. And I saw that Rob Schneider is coming to the VPAC. Yeah. As in like one of my, I mean, how many of those of the movies have you seen? Like 50 First Dates. I mean, come on. Like he was in that.
And so all the comedy sketches he would do on Saturday Night Live.
Yes, he's so ridiculous. So I'm really excited that he's going to be coming. And then I also saw that Amy Grant is going to be here.
Yep.
I mean, talk about a childhood favorite. I think that her cassette tape was like played so many thousands of times in my household. And she's just one of those people that like, I think she's just timeless,
Yeah. Yep. So that will be later in the summer. Amy Grant's going to be here. Just a Del McCoury band. We've got them all, and more tickets have been released. So you can go to the Villar, PAC.org for more information on that. Ashley, I know you need to get to your next interview.
I do.
So
start walking. gonna start
We'll
heading
let you
there.
keep walking, talking
Yeah.
if you need. But she's gonna go over to Eyepieces to give some details on some of those cool sunglasses. She'll be at the top of Bridge Street for that interview. And then Rachel, what's next?
We got that Valar video.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to show you some videos from the Valar. So you just get a taste of some of the music that's coming in. Yo-Yo Ma, for example, with this Ain't Our First Goat Rodeo. That should be a fun one as well. Okay, which one are we going to play?
Let's find out.
Needing saving, late night changing, wrong side of the tracks. Lost inhibition, strangers kissing, smoking out the back. Backseat loving, fighting, cussing, music way too loud. Bunch of heartbreaking, money wasting, hell raising, crazy people. Crazy people. Crazy people.
All right, Randy Rogers Band taking the stage at the Valar Performing Arts Center on July 2nd. Just before that, we were showing the Almond Betts Band, and they'll be coming in June 20th. It's still available. In fact, they just released more tickets because of COVID restrictions lifting. It's about a 530-seat theater, so it really is a intimate setting. A lot of times the performers, they like it because they're so close to the crowd. A lot of times they're used to playing these big auditoriums, and they've got a captured audience, and they can really interact and tell great stories. So valarpac.org for more information on that. But I want to give you a quick look at the weather, and this weather is brought to you by Betteridge, and they are your source for fine watches, designer jewelry, estate jewelry. They've been around since 1897 on the East Coast, and we're so lucky to have their store right in Solaris. So stop by and see some beautiful pieces. But temperatures today, oh, it's going to be an absolutely gorgeous day, the nicest day of the week. We've been waiting for your Friday, Friday, about 82 for a high in Vail, which means Down Valley, Eagle, Gypsum, you're going to be in the mid to upper 80s. So we'll see as you travel down Valley, it will get a little bit warmer, which should be great news for the Eagle Outside Festival, which is going on tonight through Sunday. A lot of fun activities from bike demos all the way to live music. And then as we go into your Saturday, we'll still see some nice temperatures. And then we're going to be checking out just a little chance of showers in the afternoon for your Saturday and your Sunday. I want to thank Betteridge for this weather. We've got more coming up. In fact, we're going to let you know about gardening. A lot of people, they like to garden out here, but maybe you live in a condo, maybe you live in an apartment, maybe you don't have a lot of land, or you don't have a lot of time. Well, container gardening is a great way to combat that problem. Even if you have a small yard or no yard, you can still do some gardening. We're going to learn about container gardening with Patricia Esperone, and she is the project manager at Bare Roots, a project of the Vail Valley Salvation Army. And we're right here at the Salvation Army's big plots of land here, and we're going to learn about how to garden in small spaces.
Sounds good. If you have a container and you can make drainage, then you can garden in anything. For example, this wine crate, if you drill holes in the bottom, put some soil in, you have a container garden, which after a month and a half will look like this.
All right, look at, what do you have growing in there? Kale.
We have kale, we have strawberries, purple basil, mini carrots, lettuce, sugar snap peas, cucumber, and spinach.
Okay, that looks awesome. And then if you take just a regular planter, maybe you had flowers in it last year, you
Yes.
can grow some things in here too. And you're mixing and matching quite a bit.
This was fun. These were volunteer marigolds that came in. This is great for people who live in an apartment building who have a balcony. You can put these all along the edge of your balcony, and it's very narrow. And you can put in the lettuce. Marigolds are edible. This is purple spinach and sugar snap peas, but you can really mix and match.
Now, I've heard tomatoes are kind of hard to grow up here.
If you get the smaller ones, you're going to have more success, especially if they're like a Siberian variety or another variety that's acclimated to our area.
And then potatoes. The valley was known for potatoes and for lettuce. Back in the day, they called lettuce green gold.
Yes.
So you want to really set yourself up with something that's going to grow in this climate, right?
Yes. Those are going to be really cold hardy.
Okay.
So you're good with any of the lettuces.
And then even pallet gardening is popular. You've got a couple pallets here, easy to do. You get rows, but you can do some fun things with items around the house. This was your son's old boot?
Yes. You can even take a boot that's useless. You put some rock so it doesn't tip over. Put this down in here. And I'm going to put a magenta petunia. Okay. So I will have a draping magenta petunia.
Oh, cute. So you could even take an old boot, a wine box, whatever you have around your house. And if you have any questions, Patricia's very happy to help you out. And you're right here at the Salvation Army, right?
I am. I'm here full time. Please stop by. I'm happy to spend the day with you or a couple hours, give you some advice, and just have some fun digging in the garden. We have lots of volunteers.
Okay, perfect. Tons of fun. You can find out more by stopping by the Salvation Army just across from the rodeo grounds here in Avon. We are back. We're going to take it back over to Vail. We have Ashley standing by at the Bridge Street store for eyepieces. They have 6 locations throughout the Vail Valley, 1 over in Snowmass. And ladies, what are we talking about today?
Well, first of all, we're just catching up a little bit because I haven't seen Danny in a little over a year and love her so much. She just got back from vacation last night and made it all the way over here to talk to us this morning. But when it comes to style and framing your face, eyepieces is it, and Danny has all the goods. Now, we've been talking a lot about the GoPro Mountain Games coming up. I mean, obviously, the fact that it's returning, kicking off summer, we're so excited about it. But Danny, it's not just about the athletes. You want to look good, too.
Totally.
You want to look good and protect your eyes.
Yeah.
So-
Figure out what they're all wearing and get on board with that.
It's a place to, like, see and be seen, you know? So tell us about some of the glasses that you picked out for us that would be really appropriate.
Yeah, so these are kind of some of my favorites going into the summer. Super applicable to kind of those mountain sports, fishing, biking, hiking. So this first one here, we have Oakley. They have great prism technology in their lenses, a wide variety of like sport-specific lenses. And this one actually has a side shield on it, which is awesome if you just need a little bit added protection. So if you're on the water especially, you definitely want that added protection from the glare, in addition to a great polarized lens. Will be awesome for fishing or biking. Like you don't want any debris getting in your eye, so a side shield is a great option for that.
And I feel like it has that kind of retro, like glacier glasses vibe.
Which is super trendy right now.
Yes, really, really cool. Okay, and then tell us about these ones.
So Varney, everyone knows the brand. It's made quite the comeback, and they make some awesome stuff. This one here is like a full shield, which is going to be great for biking, hiking, and this lens is actually photochromatic, meaning it changes with the sunlight, and it gets darker as the conditions get brighter. So it really adapts to whatever the conditions are doing that day. So that's a great option if maybe you're doing some evening biking and it's a little bit lower light conditions. You want something lighter, but it'll also work in those super bright conditions.
That's fantastic. There's something about those lenses that just make me so happy. I think because I'm somewhat of like a minimalist, but only just because I just don't really know how to get like the different glasses for the different styles.
It's like all in one.
Yeah, exactly. Like for someone like me, that is perfect.
Totally.
Okay, so moving on. Tell me about this style.
Yeah, so Smith here, This one, again, it's a shield, so it's gonna be great for biking, especially. You have to have maximum protection when you're biking. We don't want stones or dust or anything.
Bugs.
Yeah,
Mhm.
bugs getting in the
That's
way.
worst.
This one comes with a second set of lenses. Super easy to switch out. It's just magnetic, so it will come with a low light lens option. So instead of being photochromatic, it's just gonna be that second set of lenses that you can pop out really easily.
Super cool. And I feel like this trend too is really taking off. It's kind of got that 80s flair.
Totally.
I've been seeing that a lot.
Neon.
Yes, neon. Like I feel like all the X Games athletes that I know, like this is what they're wearing right
Totally.
now. Okay.
Totally.
All right. So moving along.
Yeah, so this one, Icy Berlin, this one is made in Germany, and it's made out of completely stainless steel. You'll see how flexible these guys are.
God. Okay. Every time you do this, like I'm so like we were in this beautiful store, and I'm afraid that you're gonna break it. This is
No.
amazing.
Yeah, so an ultra lightweight, like the lightest paper light, feather lightweight you can put on your face. So super duper comfortable, but with a great polarized lens and that shield and that cool neon red flare to give it a little something.
So for the people that always sit on their glasses or drop their glasses or
Great option.
The dogs.
I'm not
going
gonna say indestructible, but like
way
one of
more.
the most durable frames we have in the store. So if you're hard on your glasses, you're doing some crazy sports, and you need something that's gonna keep up with that,
Yeah.
that's your guy.
It's so cool. And then also just to impress your friends at happy hour. That's amazing.
Totally.
Okay. All right. And then I feel like just kind of a classic look with a little bit of that edge. Tell us about these ones.
Yeah, so this one is more of like a classic as far as just an aviator style. It's never gonna go out of style. This one is from Costa Del Mar, and they make great polarized lenses, especially in glass. Glass is gonna be the highest quality material that you can look through. And it has this great copper color to it that's going to be great for shallow water fishing. It's really a fishing company. So if you're a fisherman, shallow water or deep water, so like out in the ocean or on the creeks here, Costa is definitely your go-to. They're polarized. You can't really beat it. It's awesome.
You know, I picked up some Costas, I guess it's but 2 years ago at the GoPro Mountain Games. And I tell you what, I've worn those things nonstop. They're still in great shape. And they're probably one of my favorite pairs that I've ever had. So I can definitely test that for you.
Yeah.
Standing up to the mountain lifestyle, because I haven't really been very nice to them.
But it's a classic look, but it can still be used for sport, which I love about it.
Yes.
It's functional.
Definitely. And so people are not familiar with eyepieces, which it would be kind of funny if you live here because they're everywhere. You have so many locations.
We do. We have 7 locations.
7.
Our newest location is in the Vail Village, adjacent to the Sun and Up Hotel, and it's actually our sports store. So it's Eyepieces Sport, where it's more specifically focusing on brands like these, in addition to some goggles, helmets, and some more fashion stuff, but a focus on this. And then 3 other locations in the village: Lion's Head, this location, the Goggle Bar, and our Village Center store. And then we have Beaver Creek, Edwards, and Snowmass.
Okay. So many.
Oh,
Right, Trisha, like,
Ashley, okay.
There's
I got a question. I got a question for Danny. Okay, Danny, I'm wearing the Oakley Portal dark golf. All right. I know you mentioned stuff for hiking and biking and fishing, but how about golf? Tell us a little bit about if someone's looking to improve their game. We always think that the equipment's going to help. What can you say about Oakley Portals and golf classes? You know, when people come in and where do you steer them towards?
Definitely Oakley, and Oakley does a really great job of providing lenses for a variety of sports. So if you have a specific sport in mind, like golf, Oakley is a great option. Their lens technology is amazing in its lens tints that are specifically designed for a certain lighting environment. So example, for the golf one, that lens is specifically designed for a grassy area so that you can see the terrain. You can see the definition in the hills or the grass, the length of it, and the white ball, to follow that ball. Yeah. So Oakley does a really great job of putting a lot of research into those environments. So that lens would be a great option. And then, or something polarized. So like Mount Jim or Costa would also be really great for something like that.
Okay.
She's the best.
All right, ladies. Hey, I love those new Varnays or the retro Varnays. Real fun fashions. Oh, put them on, Ashley. Let's see them.
Oh, I guess if you ask me to, I guess I can. I mean, come on.
This is great.
All right, I'm set. I'm ready to go.
Okay, awesome, ladies. Danny, thanks for doing this. I know you just got back from vacation, so we appreciate you waking up early with us for Vail Daily Live. All right, that was up at the top of Bridge Street, their Eyepieces location right there. But as she mentioned, they have 7 locations throughout the state of Colorado. All right, Ashley or Rachel, are we doing a weather here? Okay, we're going to give you your last weather report of the day. This is brought to you by the town of Avon, Heart of the Valley. Don't forget their Sunset Live concert happening on Sunday from 6 to 8, absolutely free at the Performance Terrace Pavilion right there, the big main stage overlooking the lake. But it's going to be a gorgeous day out there. I can't wait to get outside. I'm stuck here in the studio in Eagleville, but we'll see temperatures climb into the upper 70s, mid 70s, even 80s down valley, and really not a chance of rain for your Friday. And then tonight, temperatures dropping back down into the 40s, mid 40s, real nice and cool for sleeping. Open the window. It's just a nice way to relax and end your day. And then as we go into the next couple of days, we'll have a chance of showers in the afternoons, but hit or miss, just depending on where you're at throughout the Vail Valley. We have a saying here: if you don't like the weather, wait 15 minutes or drive 15 miles, and you'll find something more to your liking. But a few more things going on today. Once again, Michael Fronte concert tonight. We're going to be having the Avon Live concert, as I mentioned, on Sunday. Swimming pools are open. We have the Eagle Pool and Ice Rink opening today, the Gypsum Creek Pool opening tomorrow, and Eagle Vail opened last week. So school is out. A lot of kids are wondering what to do, and the pool is a fun place to kick off your summer vacation. But thank you for joining us today for today's edition of Vail Daily Live. We'll see you tomorrow.